Hey, welcome back. So we've been grooming the trails just to get ready for this day, and this is the first ride on the dirt bikes on the snow for the season. Though Lance did get out, I think, the night before and said the conditions were primo. Today the conditions are not so primo. They're not horrible, but the snow is getting soft because it's getting warmer. And the short video that I posted up just recently was of the day after this, and it was even warmer and conditions were even tougher. So in this video, we're going to have a lot of fun, and it's a little bit of a reckoning for me. I'm trying to figure this thing out. This is just the next plateau I need to get over in order to build my skills.
Almost lost her there.
We've been seeing a lot more people out here, and I think it's just because the trails are here, so build it and they will come. And that's not a terrible thing. It's kind of fun to run into people and just chat with them, and so far no one's given us the old shitty Greta face for riding dirt bikes through the woods, so that's good.
When you're gassing around a turn, put your foot down and use your foot like a ski.
Over the weekend, I think I tested Lance's patience. He's giving good advice. Unfortunately, that doesn't translate into immediate skill. And I know that both of us had much different exposures to dirt bikes when we were growing up. Here's me, and here's Lance's experiences.
That's way too soft in there. Yeah, I can barely control the bike in there.
So incremental learning is how I operate to get up over the next plateau of skills, and what happens is those increments get longer and those periods of failure get shorter, but anyway, here's an increment. And trust me, in the video that I clipped, the increment was longer than that failure.
I just find my tires just digs right in. Like sinking.
Set your sag, man. Just go soft in the back.
So in the process of trying to build my own skill, I gotta eliminate the variables, and the bike is one of the variables. So here's the excuses to try and set things up to make the bike run better.
Out of control, if I can lose my nerve.
Well, work on your nerve.
And there's Lance giving me some solid advice. Sometimes you gotta push yourself out of the comfort zone, get out on the ragged edge, maybe even crash a couple times. Although I'm pretty adverse to crashing, so I'll work the incremental learning and maybe push myself a little bit harder.
It's like if you're trying, it's like on a snowmobile, right?
Here's where I remind Lance that I've owned a snowmobile for all of 3 rides. So we'll try a different simile maybe.
If you're, I know it's hard for me to explain this without sounding like a dick,
No,
But
it's okay.
but you have
There's a
to-
better simile.
You have to keep your speed up to stay on top of the snow.
Yeah.
The moment
All
you
right,
start
I'm
slowing
kidding,
down
of
and
course.
digging in, that's when you
Lance
kinda
is
lose
giving me
control.
his best
Half
advice,
speed, then
and
you have to
it's
find
going to take a little
right
time for me
speed
to
and
simulate
control
it and put it into
for
practice.
staying on top of the snow.
I'll get there, but I am testing his patience. And I'm testing mine as well, because eventually I'm going to get frustrated, and then I'm going to ride angry. And when you're riding angry, sometimes that's where I achieve some beautiful epiphanies. And here's one now.
Well, that was stupid. You're just feeling sorry for yourself. You're a weak shit pump.
I want to try your bike on the last stretch though. So, it's not all you, man. Your bike feels a lot, I would say your bike feels 25 to 40% less stable in the front than I feel on mine.
Yeah, I was going to say that. This
I do
feels
like having a
lot
formula
more
to
stable.
apply to know how much worse of a rider I am than Lance. It's somewhere between 60 and 75% apparently.
When I'm not braking, like if I'm on perfectly flat stuff like that was,
Yeah.
it's okay. But when I just go like this, if I purposely, when I'm going it fast, go like this, if I move it,
Yeah.
it feels like it starts to go into a wobble, or I don't get that on that. So let's go back there and fucking see if we can
Yeah.
fucking adjust it, because I think that's a big part of your problem, man. Let's get that a bit going here. There you go. Fucking sick ride dirty now. Let's go to the main trail and back.
So in order to stabilize my bike a little bit, what we did was add a little sag to it so it sits a little lower in the back and the front end's a little bit freer to ride up on top of the snow, a little bit lighter. Let's see if that helps.
All right, so my confidence was just getting robbed. You'll see in the video, my front end was just twitchy, and yeah, I hadn't changed anything like in terms of winter riding. I haven't gone winter riding yet. This is the first time out, and it was just stealing my confidence and robbing my energy. You know that feeling where you slowly get pulled into the quicksand, and you start to drag your feet, and you ride like a noob. And that's what I did for most of today. Listen to it.
Better,
that's
but not like still.
We determined that the bike's performing a little bit better, but still not on par with the TM. And I wonder if it's the difference between PDS and linkage. We'll see. Anyway, I've got some things to reflect upon, so I don't know, working on my nerves, pushing a little harder into the ragged edge. Anyway, I get the bike back into the locker room, so to speak, and the next morning I pushed the forks down in the triples and I adjusted the clickers a little bit. And the following day when we take it out, it's a bit better again. I think it's about as good as it's going to get, and now it's just up to me.